Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I hope you're all doing great again. This is 3.2, page 48, food chains and food webs. What is the meaning of food chains exactly? Actually, we are part of the food chain. Every single organism is part of the food chain. Producers, consumers, us as consumers, predators, and so on. So the food chain is just like an example, the example shown here. Grass being eaten by a zebra, zebra being eaten by the lion. The arrow shows the flow of energy from the grass to the zebra and from the zebra to the lion. So what is the meaning of the food chain exactly? Food chain, it shows how energy in the form of food is transferred through organisms. So how energy is going from this organism to this organism, how energy is going from this one to this one, and so on. So any food chain starts with the producer, but there is a hidden thing very important behind the producer, which is the sun. Sun is the main source of energy of any food chain or any food web. Without the sun, there's gonna be no producers, so no consumers and no food chain. So the sun is the main source of energy for any food chain or food web. Starts with a producer, then which is a plant. So always when you start your food web or food chain, you have to start it with a plant like the grass here. Then the producer is gonna be eaten by someone. This someone is the first one to eat. That's why it's called a primary consumer. So zebra here is the first one that eats the grass. The grass doesn't eat, the grass produces its own food. So it's the first one that eats, so it's called the primary consumer. The lion. The lion now is the third one that eats. Second one that eats. So it's called the secondary consumer. It's a bit short food chain. Secondary consumer. And it could be like tertiary consumer till the last one, apex predator. And then you have like the special thing working in the dark to link the end of the food chain with the beginning of the food chain, which are the decomposers. Decomposers, because they will break down the last one after it dies, and they will send the nutrients back to the producers, to that one, so the plant can grow. So let's take a look on like something more complicated or interconnected. That's a food web, and it actually makes more sense because definitely the grass is not gonna be eaten by only like grasshopper or a zebra. It's not just one example. Like in real life, in ecology, it's an organism being eaten by more than one organism. So the food web actually makes more sense. Just the food chain is a simple form of how the energy flows, but the food web is interconnected food chains, like more than one food chain. Now let's get some food chains out of this complicated one. First of all, you need to start with grass. As we said, the beginning is always like the sun giving the energy to the plant or the producer, so which is most probably a plant. You should start with grass. So let's just take a small food chain out of this food web. You should start it with any plant. Can choose the grass, the acacia tree, whatever you want. It's fine. Let's start with the grass. Then the grass is gonna be eaten by three things here: the impala, the giraffe, and the zebra. But if I choose the giraffe now, it's gonna be like a short one, or it's fine. I can choose it, it's okay. So the grass here is like there is an arrow. The energy of the grass is going to the giraffe here. So the giraffe is the primary consumer for the grass. Then the giraffe is gonna be eaten by a lion, which is the secondary consumer. So this is a food chain, a small food chain from the food web, just like a flow of energy from grass to giraffe to lion. In this order exactly, please. Now let's talk about another food chain. You can go from the grass to here, the arrow, see the arrow going where? To the zebra. And from the zebra to the leopard. This is again another food chain. Here, grass, zebra, leopard. So that's how you get a food chain out of the food web. Okay, let's talk about the predators and the preys here. Now, the predator means an organism that hunts and kills another organism for food, not for violence. And it's actually very healthy because it balances the environment and balances the population of the organisms in the environment. So it is actually a good thing. Predators-prey relationship is healthy in the environment. If you remove the predators, the whole food chain is going to be affected, or the food web is going to be affected. So let's talk about predators here. Lion is a predator because it preys on the zebra and the impala and the giraffe. It can't eat all of them, so it's a predator because it hunts and kills the impala, hunts and kills the giraffe, hunts and kills the zebra, and so on. Cheetah is also a predator because it hunts and kills the impala here and the zebra here. The leopard is also a predator because it hunts and kills the zebra and the impala. So predator, predator, predator because it hunts and kills the other three animals. So how is the energy being transferred exactly here? First of all, the main source of energy that controls the whole food web is the sun. So the sun is gonna transfer its light energy or solar energy to the plant. The plant will turn it into a chemical energy in the food because plants create or make their own food using the sunlight. So from the sun, light energy, to the plant, chemical energy. Then the chemical energy in the plant as a form of food will be transferred to the primary consumer. Let's talk about this small food chain. Let's talk about like the giraffe. It will be transferred to the giraffe. But would it all be transferred? No, it will be actually only 10%. Like imagine if the grass now has 100%. Imagine that the giraffe is gonna get only 10% out of this 100%. Why? What happened to the 90? It actually got lost or released in the environment in the form of heat. So grass had 100% of energy. The primary consumer, which is the giraffe here, used only 10% of the energy from the grass, and 90% of energy was lost as heat in the environment. And by the way, that doesn't just happen between the producer and the primary consumer. No, it happens in every single trophic level, like from the grass to the producer to the primary consumer. Also, the lion is gonna get only 10% of the energy the giraffe has, and the other 90% is gonna be lost in the environment or wasted in the environment as heat. So I hope you understood. Let's summarize. We talked about the main energy source, which is the sun. How to get a food chain out of it? It's from start from the plant, then what eats this plant, then what eats it again. So grass, impala, leopard, grass, zebra, leopard, and so on. Predators, organism that hunts and kills other organisms. Lion hunts and kills the impala, the zebra, and the giraffe. That's why it's a predator. And the energy transfer, starting from the solar energy in the sun to a chemical energy in the food of a plant. Then the food or the chemical energy will be transferred as food from one trophic level to another, or from one link or one organism to another. Only 10% will be transferred. The 90% is going to be lost in the environment as heat. I hope you understood, and for any questions you can like ask me anytime. I wish you all the best in your exams. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.